Hello and welcome to the Chapel of St Peter ad Vincula here in the Tower of London for the very last thought for the day for 2021. I want to begin with a number of thank yous, and I'm sure you know exactly where I'm coming from. December's an incredibly busy month here in the chapel, and I want to thank Cortland, I want to thank Colum, Christian and the choir. I certainly want to thank Debbie Corbett, our chapel administrator, and all those others who've helped over the last month to ensure that all the services, events, including weddings and baptisms and all the other things that have taken place during December have gone ahead so smoothly. I also want to thank a small group of people who've helped to decorate the church and make it as splendid and as beautiful as it is. It's always dangerous to say thank yous because you might leave somebody out. But these key people I really do want to thank, and if there's anybody else I should be thanking, I offer you a very big thank you as well. This is being recorded just a few days before we celebrate the birth of Christ at Christmas, and here I am sitting in front of our crib set here in the Chapel Royal of St Peter. One of the wonderful things about Christmas is the way that you see people not just thinking about themselves, but thinking about other people as well. And I've been very proud in many ways of the way in which the chapel has looked outward as much as it has looked inward as well. Of course, we've had to be very conscious of all the Omicron virus. We've had to negotiate and navigate our way through this with our carol services and the criteria by which people have been able to come to the chapel. And of course, in all of that, several of the carol services and other events have gone by the wayside. But even in all of that, many people here at the chapel and in the tower have been trying to think outwardly as much as they think inwardly about themselves and what Christmas simply means to them. I'm grateful for the support that's been given to support our local refugees. I'm grateful for the support that the chapel has given to the Tower Hamlets Food Bank and to the Food Bank programme locally here in London. Saturday morning, Barbara and I delivered a car load of stuff to a food bank on the Isle of Dogs. We've looked beyond that as well, not just to those two important issues, but to the homeless here in London. We've continued to support the St Martin's in the Field project, and we've looked at other projects around where there are people on the streets and others who are not as fortunate as we are. And that, I think, is wonderful because, again, it shows to me that we're not just looking inward, but we're looking outward as well. And if I have one plea over this last week and these last few days before Christmas, as we look again, as I say, outward and not so much inward, perhaps we could remember all those people who are having to work over Christmas to ensure our safety, particularly in these difficult times of the coronavirus. I'm thinking, for example, of our emergency services, the police, the ambulance service, the fire service, the air ambulance, all our emergency services that give us security of mind as we celebrate Christmas in our homes. Then again, there are the nurses and doctors, the medical services who will also be operating over this Christmas period as well, who will be there for us at a point of need. We will look outward to them over our Christmas period, praying for them with thanksgiving that they're there for us. As I sit in front of the crib, I'm aware of the shepherds and eventually the kings who came, who brought their gifts to the Christ child. They brought those gifts not for their own benefit, but for the benefit of the Christ child, the Holy Family. They looked outward. They didn't just look inward. Barbara and I would like to thank you for all your support over this last and quite difficult year. Barbara and I would like to wish you all a very happy and holy Christmas. We look forward to seeing many of you here in 2022, here in the Chapel Royal of St Peter ad Vincula, and we wish you all a very happy Christmas and of every blessing for 2022.